Hello, I'm going to go over this worksheet, periodic table trends, electronegativity, and it gives a little description of electronegativity here, but what electronegativity is how strongly an atom in a compound pulls at the shared electrons. So what you're seeing here, I've got a hydrogen atom and a fluorine atom, and they're bound together, they're bonded. So they're sharing some electrons. Fluorine has the higher electronegativity. Hydrogen has lower. So fluorine pulls more strongly on those electrons. That makes this compound slightly more slightly more negative on the fluorine side, because the fluorine is pulling those electrons a little bit more than the hydrogen is. All right, that's electronegativity. Higher the electronegativity, the more it pulls the electrons. And that's what we're gonna see is there's a trend across the table. So we're talking about trends in the periodic table. And as you go across the table, you're gonna see that electronegativity goes up. And that's because we're increasing the number of protons as we go across the table, right? Increasing the protons increases that positive charge of the atom, and that higher positive charge pulls at those negatively charged electrons. So lithium over here has a lower electronegativity than fluorine over here. Fluorine pulls more strongly because it has more protons going across this row. Now what you'll see on our charts here is that these ones at the end, neon, argon, like right here, neon and argon, they don't have a number at all because they're in a special situation where they don't want to take any more electrons. They're totally happy with how many they have. But in the next row, krypton does actually have an electronegativity. So we're seeing a trend, and as we go across, so here's the periodic table and here's our first row. We've got lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. That's what we're doing here. So fill in those missing elements, and then I want you to guess. I don't want you to look up, but I want you to guess what the next number is gonna be in the electronegativity. So there's no need to look it up. I just want you to understand that there's a trend here. For instance, lithium, beryllium, next one is boron, so I'm going to put a B. I see that the electronegativity of beryllium is 1.5, carbon, it's 2.5, so somewhere in the middle. What's right in the middle? 2.0. But you could have put 2.1 or 1.9, something that's in between these, okay? And then we'll do one more after oxygen. We said it's fluorine. And so the trend is going up, so it has to be above a 3.5. We know that. Neon doesn't have a number. So it's gone up rather smoothly, right? So I'm not gonna put 10 here. That wouldn't make any sense. Maybe a 3.8 or a 4.0 or a 4.2. I'm gonna put 4.0 because they seem to be going up pretty steadily. And I can tell you that fluorine on the periodic table here has the highest electronegativity number. Fluorine pulls more strongly at electrons than any other atom. All right, I hope this helps.